you are still the gift. And what that means is that you were born into the world to become the gift. That means who you were meant to evolve into becoming, which is what we each do. We will do that in different ways and at different times in our lives and also in the world. But I'm using that title because I published something about a year ago called You Are the Gift, where I put together all the information that I had received from Wilhelm for all these years, 37 years now, um, to demonstrate how we change in consciousness, how I healed my life, how anyone could do the same thing, and how we could change our world. Because we are the ones who are doing that. Everything is consciousness, and we will view ourselves and our world through our consciousness and the way it's been formed. And we pass that on to others. No one comes into the world knowing who they are or understanding consciousness throughout, as long as mankind has been on the earth. We just learn things and we pass it on to others. And so then we discover new ways of being, new ways of living that hopefully will cause us to live better lives and create a much better world. And it might not have felt that way to you recently, or you could have had a lot of struggles for the last several years, maybe, or maybe most of your life. But then that's when you discover your gift. And then you start to own yourself. The message that I received last year on this date said, self-belief is still your challenge. That's for all of us. We don't believe things because we haven't seen it yet. And I certainly had a lot of difficulty in believing myself, as did many others in believing me as well. But today that might change because I hide things away as well. I think that's part of my Scorpio nature. We have different things that we do, but I can no longer do that now because I know, and I have to own it, that I've been given one of the most brilliant pieces of work ever created that could change anyone's life and change our world. So I'm no longer going to hold it back. And maybe more people will start to see it now and start to understand who they could become and how we could shift things. We are moving through a great division, it seems, in our world, and so much of it has to do with money. And we're seeing that that's gone on forever. And there's something to be said about the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, but we have to understand where that happens. It only happens in consciousness and what we have chosen to believe about ourselves and others. And I had a lack of belief in the consciousness that I had developed and how much it was worth. Just it was just something that was difficult for me to accept because I'm 75 years old. I've moved through every difficulty. I've healed everything, and it all came through this work that I could not explain to you how it came about. And I doubted it even when I was told what it was. I had an Akashic Records reading done many years ago, 5 years ago now, telling me, yes, you have this ancient memory that could bring in information. Then I thought that couldn't possibly be it. And then I discovered that I was a savant, meaning I could receive information, organize it, and give people information that could cause them to become who they were. But I held back as well. But I can't do that. But I'm going to give you the gift because as you go through these documents, there's so many of them. I had no memory that I had created this. I'm just being completely honest because I do that all the time. I have created so much work and I forget about it, and then I discovered it again. So now I can give it to you, and you will understand so much more. There are no insignificant people born. We just go through generational cycles where we believe certain things, and you're never going to believe um, everyone else. You're never going to believe certain things, and you will question why certain things are occurring. But the only thing you're supposed to do is believe yourself. And my life was meant to bring in a philosophy where you could develop the ability to know who you are and come to your authentic self and live the life you were supposed to have. That was the purpose that my life was meant to have. And as difficult as it was and as challenging as it was for me and all the ridicule and disbelief that I received from everyone else, this day has made it worth it. Because as you read the documents, you will understand how valuable this is for you and for our world from what I went through. But I'm saying that because I know it's the same for everyone. It just takes us a while before we start to believe that. And today, you might be willing to do that or believe yourself as I am doing now. And the message I received last year from Wilhelm for tomorrow said, you might appreciate yourself a bit more now. You will believe yourself more now because there's a process that we all move through. It doesn't matter who we are to come to that self-belief, but this will aid you today. Thank you so much for being here. I'll see you soon.